What's up everyone? Alex here. A lot of people have been asking me if I play other games outside of what I make videos on, and the answer is, yeah, of course I do. Most of the videos you've been seeing on this channel are mostly either about games that aren't out yet or games that I'm currently reviewing. But what about games that I don't get for review that I'm playing? This is what Hours In is going to be about, my thoughts and feelings about a game I'm playing alongside you, with the same kind of personal observations and commentary you'd find in my reviews. For this video, I want to talk about Platinum Games' hot new title, Astral Chain, and before you ask if this is going to have a port elsewhere, the answer is nope. It's published by Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch. The story is set in an ultra-futuristic society. Mysterious creatures known as the Chimera have been relentlessly opening dimensional tears all across the city, kidnapping innocent bystanders and slaughtering anything they come across. You are one of the members of a neuron task force assigned to defeat the Chimera, and, alongside your sibling Akira and father Max, you're given the power to wield tempered Chimera known as Legion. I'm roughly about 6 hours into the game, and while Platinum isn't always known to tell great stories, I feel like the current story they're trying to tell is made much more interesting thanks to what the game actually adds to the usual Platinum Games formula. I'm talking about the investigative elements added to Astral Chain. As with most games with investigation mechanics, Astral Chain gives you the ability to scan the environment for clues. But more than that, you're also able to do things like use your Legion to eavesdrop on a conversation, traverse environments to find hidden chests, and help the general population with their problems. It might not look apparent from the gameplay trailer, but Astral Chain is, in fact, a linear game, unlike Nier Automata before it. But because the world's peppered with side cases, nooks and crannies to explore, and tons of other secrets, it rewards and encourages explorer buffs like myself to go off the beaten path to find a route or two to try out. I did notice that there were sections of each mission that are blocked off, no doubt requiring a specific Legion to get through, implying that missions can be replayed. But I'll cross that fjord when I get there. I loved exploring the world of Astral Chain, and while the cyberpunk aesthetic is in full play here, the motif and theme of the game feels more inviting than other representations of that style. The fact that these other quote-unquote side elements of Astral Chain work well doesn't mean that the game's combat lacks the kind of action you've come to love from Platinum Games, though it is slightly different than what you're used to in previous titles such as Bayonetta and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Instead of memorizing several pages worth of combos to master, Astral Chain provides you with a variety of tools that can help you wreak havoc to your enemies. For instance, while you can send out your Legion to attack anything and everything it's near, you can also use the Astral Chain that's tied between you and said Legion to temporarily capture enemies. You're also given these flashy moments during combos that allow you to follow up your attacks with your Legion, in a way discouraging button mashing, but also hinting that the combat here can't easily be won by just mindlessly pressing buttons. I think the proper way to describe Astral Chain's combat is that it's both reactive and proactive, encouraging players to go all in with their Legion and their own attacks, while at the same time recognizing that enemies won't often respect your offense and will more than likely insert an attack in between combos, thereby giving you an opportunity to dodge, then following that up with a Legion attack if you execute the dodge properly and press the appropriate button. If what I described all sounded familiar, it should. It's the brand of Platinum Games action you've come to expect from the studio, but with a few key differences that not only allow a wider variety of players to feel like a badass, but also alters their combat formula in a way that makes it feel fresh and new. One of my favorite aspects of Astral Chain is its progression system. Each Legion you obtain has its own tech tree, with different skills and abilities you can buy. Your Legion can be equipped with skills you can activate by pressing either the X or Y button, as well as passive abilities that are active all the time, or activate depending on the conditions listed. This allows the player to customize each Legion to their own particular playstyle, while allowing more daring players to mix and match different skills and passive abilities. Each Legion specializes in a very specific kind of combat style, with the Sword Legion, you guessed it, excelling in close quarters combat, and the Archer Legion being really good at keeping enemies at bay. I've largely used the Archer Legion to open paths and shortcuts with switch blocks, and I look forward to using it more in actual combat to see how drastically it varies from the Sword Legion, and in what circumstances it can be most useful. But I think it's safe to say right now that the Sword Legion's my favorite. I know I'm just barely getting to the halfway point in Astral Chain, but I already feel like it's a game I'd want to replay after I beat it. With its catchy soundtrack, fantastic action, and highly explorable environments, it's a game that'll tide me over until that other cyberpunk game that you might have heard of comes out. Are you playing through the game? I'd love to read what you think of it, and what your favorite gameplay moments are, so post them in the comments below. Also, if you like this kind of video, let me know in the comments as well. Thanks for watching, and have a great gaming week.